cause I'm peeping through visuals, some individuals far from original. I kept it real, never flipped, no reciprocals. I had to heal and forgive unforgivables. I've been blessed up, I've been broke down. Gotta catch up, gotta shine.
Hey everybody, you already know who it is. It's your girl Tuesday Vida, and we are back with another Tuesday Vida Talk. So as you guys know, I like to relate my Tuesday Vida Talks to what is happening around me, what is happening in my life, just anything that I feel speaks to me and that God can give me a word from. So yesterday we was driving, all perfectly fine, okay, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a storm, and I'm not talking no regular drip drop, I'm talking hurricane type of time storm, rain, winds, okay. It was just extraordinary. And I was like, okay, cool. So today I've been thinking about Tuesday Vida Talk, and I kept thinking about that storm. So I'm gonna go prepare my Tuesday Vida Talk, and I realized that I had prepared one and never, I made a video about it, but I wasn't feeling it at the time. And when I read over what I prepared, I was like, wow, this works perfectly with what I'm thinking about. So the topic is let go and let God during the storm. And why not let go and just let God? Because it's easy to let go and let God take control when everything in your life is going perfectly fine. But how about when things aren't going perfectly fine? When there's a storm going on in your life, when things are going down the drain. Are you going to let go and let God then? Oh no, you might not. You might be in the storm right now trying to hold on to things that God's asking you to let go and let Him take control. So let's go to the book of Matthew 14:22. And long story short, Jesus sent His disciples out in a boat, and Jesus went to pray, and He came back. When He came back, there was a storm. Okay? And it says, shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw Him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." And Peter said, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come out on the water." And Jesus said, "Come," and Peter got down off the boat and walked on the water and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. He cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately, Jesus reached out His hand and caught him. And I'm going to stop it right there. The story continues, and there's a whole different part to the story, but I want to stay on this aspect that Jesus immediately reached out in the middle of the storm. When Peter called out His name, He reached out and saved Peter. Boom. Keep that in mind, okay? So throughout this month, remember, I took a month, not this month, last month, I took a month off, and I explained to you guys why. But also, that month taught me a lot. And I heard during that month somebody say, they was like, "I am not God." That simple phrase, literally, I know I'm not God, but when I heard somebody say it, it relieved so much. And sometimes we go through storms in life not to prove that there is a God, but to prove to ourselves that we are not God, that we cannot be in control of everything. God is such a good God that He gives us free will. And because He gives us free will, we feel like we need to be in control of A, B, C, D, F, G, X, Y, Z, and everything else in between. And that's not the case. When we try to control every single little thing in our lives, we leave no room for God to move in. It's like you want God to play His role and do something in your life. Meanwhile, you're taking every shift, every overtime. You're not taking a break and letting Him work. If you remember, I said keep this in mind. Jesus saw Peter sinking. Jesus knew Peter was sinking. Jesus could have immediately reached out His hand, but He waited on Peter to ask for help. He waited on Peter to cry out to God. And sometimes that's how it is. In the midst of our storms, God wants to help you so bad, but at the end of the day, it's in your hands, it's in your decisions if you're gonna let go and let God. And letting go and letting God, because in our generation, we have this mentality where everything we do, we have to be in control of everything. Like, we're in control of our futures, we're in control of this, that, and the other. And sometimes we feel like we don't understand the concept of letting go and letting God, because it's in a way losing control. But letting go and letting God has nothing to do with losing control. Letting go and letting God simply means you take care of the possible, of what is in your realm and your reach, and you let God take care of the impossible. You let God take care of the things that aren't moving in your life. You let God take care of the things of your plans. You plan, but you let God take lead in them. You let God open the doors. You let God move in whatever he needs to move with. You know that he is in control. At the end of the day, he is going to allow for the things that he wants in your life to come, and the ones that aren't, you gotta make sure they out. So letting go and letting God, it doesn't make you lose control. It eliminates stress, it eliminates worry, it eliminates fear of what's to come. Letting go lets you hold on to the things that really matter. We need to take seriously what Romans 8:28 says. And we know that in all things God works in the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And you know, I'm not naive, like I'm not dumb. I know there's people that go through things that I could never imagine going through. I know there's people that have really, really had it hard in life. Maybe it's you watching, maybe it's a friend that you know, maybe it's a family member. I understand that there's things that are just, there's no good to it in our eyes. There's absolutely no good to it. There's storms that literally seem like they're out just to destroy everything. But John 16:33 says, I have said these things to you that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulations, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And the word tribulation, if you take this to the original like Hebrew Bible, it means trauma, things that are gonna affect you and are meant to affect you negatively. But it says take peace because he has already overcome the world. You haven't overcome the world from what I know. So you're not taking peace in yourself, because your mind, if it's not connected to God, is going to look at everything you're going through like it's meant to destroy you. But if it is connected to God, and if you're taking peace and refuge in the one who has already overcome the world, no storm that comes your way, you will feel like it's meant to destroy you, because you already know God has overcome it. If you let God do his job, I promise you that he will. He does not take off. He does not let people cover his shift. He is not me and you. He is God, okay? Another point I want to make is that your perspective and your faith on what you're going through, on why you're going through the storm, cannot be put on the things that are in your control, because you will always feel like what's happening is meant to destroy you. Your faith and your perspective must be set on the things that God can control, because if it's set on the things that God can control, you know that God is going to use it not to destroy you, but to renew you, to restore you, to take you up to a new level. So let go and let God. Don't let the headaches you're going through, the pain you're feeling, the frustration you have, the worry that fills your life, the fear that paralyzes you, do not let that take over your life. Let it go and let God. Allow God to move. Allow God to work. Put in your prayer time and give him time and space, because a lot of times we think because we praying everything's gonna fall into line like we want in our timing. God is not a God of our timing. God doesn't run by time. He is an eternal God. He has all the time in the world. Just because you don't see it happening right now doesn't mean that it's not gonna happen. You have to wait on him. You have to stand faith in your promise. You have to stand firm on what he has already spoken to you, and you need to have patience. You have to understand that God's not working in your time. Like, stop rushing him. Let him do him. Let go and let him do him. I promise you, you can try to keep controlling everything in your life. You can try to get yourself out of certain situations, and it's not going to work, because maybe the situation you're in, God's just trying to show you something, and you keep trying to hold on and change and move and take away and put back, that you're not letting him move. So let go and let God. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you like today's Tuesday Vida Talk. This topic was very beneficial to me, because I'm not a perfectionist at all, but I'm somebody that likes to know what is happening. I like to have control over certain things, and it taught me, like, Joylies, as much as you want, There's certain things you cannot control. There's certain things that you just gotta let God be. And that's what I learned. And trust me, I am a lot stress-free, okay? Okay. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you like today's Tuesday Vida Talk. We will be back. We will be back with more videos. Hit the like button. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Boom.